There are too many grey areas on our side to start allowing unvetted drivers taking Gibraltarians home. And to obviously, the law is very clear and it doesn't actually allow taxis to cross from Spain. Any taxis to work in Gibraltar are under license. The same is reciprocated. Gibraltar taxis cannot do a drop-off in Spain either. And obviously, you can imagine that taxi drivers in Gibraltar would feel very hard done by, and that they're losing their actual trade by allowing others into the market, which is unregulated.
There have been comments on our social media claiming that taxi drivers are among those who offer shuttle services to Malaga Airport, for example. There are several who advertise online their services. So what's the ministry's view on this?
That's something that they're committing a crime in another country. That's at their own risk. And if they were providing a taxi service in Spain and they were stopped by the authorities there, that's for them to deal with, the same as we are dealing with Spanish taxi drivers on this side, and we obviously we're upping the enforcement. Again, it works both ways. Again, it's anyone's risk to commit a crime in another country. It's not the ministry's.
Are there plans in particular for nighttime services in Gibraltar to be improved?
The plan is obviously to increase the number of taxis available, and then obviously we'll look at the means and whatever needs to be done in terms of law changes to ensure that the service is there for the public. That is what we're going to do.
You mentioned earlier about vetting taxi drivers and having that control over who's operating. Would it be an issue or a possibility in the future that perhaps if something like Uber were introduced, that those drivers could also be vetted and go through the same process? You
need to have a red ID card to even become a taxi driver in the first place. Also, as well, in terms of the vetting, now we do have people who weren't born in Gibraltar who come in taxi drivers. That's not a problem. We changed the policy last year to actually ask for vetting from all their countries that they've actually lived in, not just the one in Gibraltar. And actually more than one has been found to have a criminal record in a different country, and we have removed their PSV license because of that. Again, it's all great, and we look at this as more drivers and it's going to be a great service, but the safety aspect is always at the front of the ministry's mind. We recognise that taxi service can be better. I think we're working really hard to improve that service, and also the reassurance to all taxi drivers out there that the government is not in any position to actually start allowing airfares to come into Gibraltar in any way. Again, we're going to actually increase the level of fineage. We're changing the law to actually increase the fine that will be given to anyone who is doing taxi service in Gibraltar illegally. Taxi drivers in particular can be quite reassured that their trade is not going to be affected by the treaty.